Hello, everybody.
Glare.
I know, right? Where's that coming
What
from?
is going on here? We look dark.
I know. I'm dark.
We got like a oh.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Where we at? Where we at? Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Oh shoot. Okay. Testing. Hey, LBE in the building.
In the building. Good good evening, everybody.
Hi guys.
I'm Julius Hardy.
Plug that in. And I'm Juicy. What's going on? We're a little discombobulated today or something.
Right?
Don't you think a little bit? Hi, Alinda. Hey. Alinda in the building.
Okay.
What's up?
Well,
Ooh, we got a show for y'all.
yes. I want to thank everybody that's new
Hey,
to the show.
Pam. Hey, Pam.
Hey, Pam.
Yes, we got some great conversation, some great people today. How y'all feeling today?
I feel good. How about you?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. I'm in a great place. I got a little blessing today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something I thought I had to pay for, and I end up not having to pay for.
Oh, God is good.
Yes, you know that it's the little things,
I
right?
know,
When
right?
you save some money, you be happy.
$4.
It could be $4.
It'll be more than
ain't
$4.
never lied.
I know, right?
Man, that's how I be. I'll be happy.
I'm happy for
How
you.
y'all feeling today? Put in the chat how y'all feeling. Hello, hello.
We got any new people?
We got some new people. Give us a shout out in the chat.
Well, always got to say for all the new people, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
We meet every Thursday. Every
Yes,
Thursday, 8 o'clock.
Yes,
different topics. Have guest
I'm
speakers.
about to get up real quick.
About to get up?
Yeah, because I gotta fix something. Y'all see that glare on us?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. That's just my lotion. Think that's lotion? It wouldn't. Hold on. It wasn't. That, it was not that funny. Now you over there cracking up. Hold on. But you just stop.
It's hilarious. All right, y'all. What's up? Hey, you know it's not a show unless Delta is in the building.
I know, right?
What's up, Delta? When you ain't here, I be sad. I ain't gonna lie to you because I'm so used to you being here.
Yes.
Okay. Big hair.
Your hair looks nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Nice.
Yes it is. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, be careful now.
Yeah. So, how y'all feeling? So we got a good show.
As always.
As always. I'm out of breath. I feel a little rushed today.
I know, right?
Do you feel rushed? I gotta calm down.
I know. Come, bring it down, bro. Usa. There you go.
Let me get my bearings.
Usa for both of us.
Yes, we had like a little crazy. We was having some technical difficulties.
I know, right?
Difficulties behind the scenes that y'all didn't.
I think my page was hacked. That's what.
Yeah, we got hackers in the building.
Know,
Hardy got a whole.
Had a hacker. Couldn't get on.
He got a whole. It was a woman hacker too.
I know, right? From Africa, right?
Yeah,
she from Africa.
She had all her friends was from Africa.
Zimbabwe or something.
Yeah. She took over. How you get hacked?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just it's really frustrating when you do get hacked.
I know, right?
People be all in
you. I know.
So,
People don't even know. But
today's show. You wanted to give somebody a shout out.
I want to give a shout out to the Sigma Gamma Rho for allowing me to do their this past weekend their Blue Jean Cabaret. I just want to thank every member that I had a great time. I hope everyone had a great time. So hey, hopefully that's back. That was actually the second time I've done something for them. So again, I just want to kudos to the ladies of that organization. Thank you again, ladies.
That was beautiful. Yeah. How was the event?
It was beautiful. Everybody. I guess they call it step in. The ladies stroll.
Oh, they did. They stroll.
Yeah, it was nice. Real nice.
Real
nice. Hey, Miss Jones.
Miss James. What's up, Miss James?
Hey.
Laverne in the building.
Okay. Got a lot of new people.
Ooh. Somebody at
Hey, Laverne. Let me just tell you about Miss Laverne.
Hey, Miss Laverne.
Miss Laverne, me and her used to work together at Warrensville Heights Civic Center when I was the director. and she was my assistant.
Okay.
And I love her to death. She used to
Aw.
check all my work before I send it out. So I just want to thank you so much.
Aw.
She's made me a very good director. Thanks to her help.
Oh,
You should have had that song I'm
Cinderella.
playing.
I'm always
I know.
singing stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so tonight's show, we're gonna get straight into it. It's about the pros and cons of being single. In the chat, how many people in the chat are single? I'm just curious.
Wow.
If you single, let us know in the chat.
What they
if
got?
you
They got
single.
those things called situationals, or what they call that?
No situation. I mean, not married. When I say single, I mean not married and not in a committed relationship.
What about side chicks? Side dudes?
That's not what this show is about. Thank you. That's so sweet. She says she likes my new look. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Thank you. All right. Single. Okay. Delta single.
All right. No, Delta.
All right.
Delta. Okay.
All right. So
where your boy at? Vaughn. What's his name?
Vernon.
Yeah, where Vernon
I don't know
at?
where Vernon at. He be coming to the building late.
He be coming late.
Yes.
Like, what did I miss?
Right. Matter of fact, let me. Yeah. So we're gonna talk. What are we talking about tonight, Heidi?
We're talking about the pros and cons of single life. I know, right? Single life.
I'm not married.
I'm not married either.
Hardy's not married.
I'm not married.
So we're gonna talk about how long have you been unmarried?
Woo! At least 20 years. A good 20 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
I ain't been single that long.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Not that long. Oh, here we go. Can y'all hear us good? I was just trying to get that microphone.
Somebody said happily single.
Happily single. Where you see that at?
Right there.
Okay, now.
Happily single.
All right.
Me and her used to go to church together.
Okay. Happily single. That's interesting.
I know, right?
Let me ask you this.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to get married one day?
She's the marrying type. She's a really nice person. Very nice.
Okay. Yeah. So you say yes.
I can say
she
yes.
definitely wants to be married one day. No, I'm just asking. I want to know, Miss James, do you want to be married one day? So there are a lot of pros and a lot of cons. I just, to being Marva. Hi.
Hey, Marva.
Marva, are you single?
You say yes.
No, that's Sharaya. Sharaya said she is single. Marva, yes, single?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good evening. Hey, Frida.
Hey, Frida.
What's up?
What's crack? Quack.
Okay, yes. Marva wants to be married one day. Sharia wants to be married one day. Okay, so no man so far.
No man. They scared, huh?
They scared. So today we're just gonna talk about the pros and cons of being single. But just before we get into it, how do you feel about you've been single for a long time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
hello. Alfonso.
Okay.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, Marva.
Okay.
Hey, y'all.
Got our regulars popping in.
Yes. What's up, Kim? My girl Kim? In the building.
Kim is in the building.
All right. So.
What you want to know again?
You're single. You've been single for a minute.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what do you feel about being single? Like, just what's your thing?
Well, with single to me, it's like no accountability. Like if I want to go out somewhere, I don't just say, hey, let's say Marsha, I ain't got to say, well, I'm going out with my boys tonight. I can just say, hey, I'm going out. I'll talk to you when I see you, or talk to you later. But if the other part of being single is it's just me. I have no accountability, but for my own actions and things that I do. But it's it can be rough. It can be rough.
I would say single is cool And for me, I would say single is cool until it's the end of the night and you're going home by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Or the holidays. The
yeah.
holidays,
I can see
being
that.
single can kind of be lonely. Baby, listen, I'm not scared. It's a lot of men that are not honest. They want snack, dessert, and dinner. You ain't never lied. Hold on, here we go. Don't get Hardy started.
I know.
So before we get Hardy started, we're gonna talk about some of the pros that people talk about when being single. One of the pros is that I find to be very true is personal development. I feel like when I am single, right, I'm able to get so much accomplished. Like the things that would take me a long time because I'm distracted with a relationship or I'm answering to somebody else. When I'm single,
you use the word answering. Is that what you're really doing, or you just kind of like?
No. I'm just saying when I'm busy, because when you're in a relationship, you're focused on that relationship,
right.
the ins and outs, making it work or whatever it may be. But when you're single, like I just find that I get a lot done for me. Like if it's things around the house, if I want to take a class, if I'm trying to be healthy or fit, if I'm working out, I just seem to.
But could you do that with your partner though?
You can, but a lot of times, when you're in a relationship, in my opinion,
okay,
you're catering, especially for a woman. And y'all tell me what y'all think, because I feel like for women, it's more true for us. But you find yourself catering to the needs of the person you're in a relationship with. I think the expectation for women when we're in a relationship is to kind of, we tend to focus on our relationship. But when I'm by myself,
I don't agree with that. When I'm in a relationship, I focus on the person I'm with.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for me as a woman.
I'm saying for me, as me as a man.
Okay, I can't speak for you.
Well, I'm speaking for myself.
That's good.
What you're saying.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Here we go.
Here
you go. You just started already.
It's still early. We've been on for 13 minutes.
But I'm just saying.
But seriously.
I'm serious. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just feel like you end up focusing on the relationship that you're in. And it takes the time away. But when you don't have another focus, you kind of focus on the things that are important to you. Mm-hmm. You got to take into consideration the other person when you're in a relationship. So,
I was just.
I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. When you're in a relationship, you tend to focus on that. So for me, I would say personal development. I'm more self-aware. And I just can focus on myself, making sure my life is happy and my well-being. That's one of the pros of being single, right? Of course, independence.
I can see that.
Independence. I can make decisions on my own. Like if I was married before, and when I was married before, one of the things that, I remember, my ex-husband got really mad at me one time because I decided I was looking for a car. I was going to buy a car and we were going to go look together, like on a weekend, but I ended up going like on a weekday or like a Thursday or something. And I was like, oh, I bought a car. And he was pissed, And hey, Michelle. Hey, that's my butter.
Hey,
what's
Michelle.
up, butter?
Okay.
So I end up being in a situation where I bought a car and he was upset. But when you single, I could go to the dealership and go buy whatever I want. I don't have to really answer to somebody about what I did. And even though I was paying for it, I'm just saying, when you're in a relationship, you have to consider the other person. And that's something that you can't, that independence of what you want to do with your money, You don't have to rely on that person. But that also can be a con. But we gonna get
I guess I could see that because I just recently bought me a new car too.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it could have been nice if I had somebody with me to go with me to buy this car and test drive it. But it is what it is.
Well, it was a little bit different because we were married, and he felt like
That's right.
I shouldn't have made the decision without him.
Oh, I see.
It should have been a joint decision. It was a car for me, but in hindsight, that wasn't the best decision. You know what I'm saying? But I was single. I mean, it was like we were newly married, and I just wasn't
used to
answering to somebody like that. I was used to making decisions on my own.
Right.
And so when you're in a relationship, you really do have to consider the other person. And I was hard-headed. I can admit my faults back then. I've grown up since then. I was in my early 30s.
30s, okay.
I know. And freedom. What about freedom?
Freedom is good.
That's one of the pros. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
How does freedom look for you as a single man of 20 years?
Let me count the ways. Let me see. It's like I said before, it kind of has its ups and downs, and being single, you don't. It's cheaper. You're gonna spend money. You're gonna spend a lot of money if you're going out by yourself. You don't have to. What?
No, I'm just laughing. But you're right.
Yeah. You don't have to consider anybody else. You just go out. I don't mind going to breakfast by myself. I do that. I find myself going to breakfast by myself. I don't really go to dinner too much by myself, but I find myself going to breakfast and maybe lunch. But it's cool.
You can do what you want. Yeah. When you're single, you really do what you want. You can design your day, spend your time.
Take as long as you want.
You can take as long as you want. You can make detours in the middle of the day. One of the things that I really find refreshing, I can pick and choose what I want to do. I don't have the obligation of doing whatever somebody else want to do. So I can get in my car and be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the store. Maybe I'll make a pit stop and go hang out with my homegirl. Maybe I'll go have lunch or whatever. But I can do all those things, and I don't have a specific time, to.
That's kind of like my motorcycle. I can come and go on my motorcycle. I have a little group that I ride with during the summer, and we did quite a bit of riding this year, and it was pretty cool. I didn't have to say, "Hey, I'm going out with riding with my friends today."
You'd be like, "You always ride with your friends. Why you riding with your friends?
I ain't many of your friends."
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things. I also find that being single, I am able to develop stronger relationships. Hey, my boy. I feel like Asante L. Okay. Yeah, I find that I'm able to have deeper connections with my friends, in my family, because my focus is not so much on my relationship, but my relationship with my friends. I'm able to have a deeper, stronger connection. I feel like, a lot of times, even in our friendship, right? It might be hard being in a, you know what I'm saying? We both single, but I'm just saying, it might be hard for, if I was in a relationship, for them to understand our friendship dynamic, because a lot of people, it's a lot of people that feel like men and women can't be friends, right? Just platonic friends, which I think is silly, but it's like that for some people. But I think that, just being in a relationship, a lot of people would, women and men would have a problem, or just not understand our friendship. And so I feel like when you're single, you can have deeper connections, friendships. You can invest in meaningful relationships with loved ones, with your homies, all that kind of thing. And, you could be as, like you already piggybacked about the financial aspect of it, you know?
You put the phone number up today? So in case
Yes.
people want to
Oh, I'm
call in.
sorry. I'm sorry.
People
I'm
call in.
slipping.
I know, right? That's
I'm
why I'm here.
slipping.
That's why I'm here. When you slipping, I got you.
That's the phone number if y'all want to talk about the pros and cons of dating. All right, how about this is one?
What's that?
So what you feel about this? And y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat. Somebody said that social and sexual freedom is something that you can really have when you're single. Like you can flirt and date to the extent that you want to. Okay. Okay. Asante L said, I don't want to be looking for a relationship as I get older. And someone else said, it's difficult to be friends with someone. All right. We got somebody calling in.
Okay.
Hello. Welcome to Juicy Talk.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Juicy Talk. Oh, you got to turn us off in the background so you don't get that feedback.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Or mute us in the background. If you're watching us on the TV, you want to mute us so it's no echo.
Is that better?
Much better.
Much better. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you, sir?
Yeah.
Can you? What's your name?
Fine. You guys look wonderful on television.
Well, thank you.
Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Okay. And your age?
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said your age.
Oh, I'm 68.
And your name?
My name is Gregory.
Hi, Greg.
What's up, Gregory? First
How you
time caller?
doing?
Are you a first time
Yes,
caller?
sir.
Oh, okay.
Yay! We're excited to have you.
Well, I'm so glad to be able to get through because normally I can't get through to these things.
Oh, okay.
What's going on?
But
sir?
what I wanted to comment on was, I used to have the same philosophy as what you were talking about earlier on in my life, and I thought that was something that was great. But there comes a level where you become stagnant, and you start wondering: is there something better? Is there something more out there than sitting down, going through the same routine over and over and over again? Because what else do you have to look forward to other than, you can detour, you can go here, you can go there, but is that where you limit yourself? Because when I was doing it, I felt like I was in a circle. I was just constantly churning, but getting nowhere. Wow. Then finally I said, I need something more. So I'm not going to go into what I found. I just want to know if you've seen the same feeling, or have you ever felt the feeling of there's got to be more out there?
That's really good.
I like that.
Did you want to answer?
Do I want to answer?
No. I was asking Hardy if he wanted to answer your question before I get into what I think about it.
You want to go ladies first?
Ladies first? Okay. Now ladies first.
No.
No, go ahead.
Well, say one more time now. You said you was going in circles and like more to life. Now, are you saying that because you maybe I don't want to say dating multiple women, or just got tired of it and said you want to be single, or I don't. I understand, but I don't.
Well, I was let's say it was I've covered all the bases that you guys are talking about. I've been there, I've done it, but I needed more. And what I was doing wasn't filling me. It wasn't fulfilling me because I didn't feel like I was making any ground. I wasn't making any progress. Thinking that there was something more out there. Like doing the old, I'm chill, I'm good. I don't have to answer to anybody. But the thing is, bottom line is that when you want to share something with someone because you've accomplished something really good, there's nobody there.
I agree. Yeah, I would say, to your question, what I have found is that, one of the cons to me of being single is it doesn't challenge you to grow. I feel like relationships challenge you to be a better person. When you're by yourself, you're not, I don't know if you guys can hear me good, but when you're by yourself, you're not challenging yourself to grow.
Exactly.
It's
I think that's right.
Being in a relationship with someone, they're going to challenge you and say, hey, I noticed that when you get upset, you cut people off, or it's just things, personal development, and you grow when you're in a relationship because it puts you in a place of accountability, and it takes you out of your comfort zone. Absolutely. And so therefore you're able to, especially if you have a good mate, they challenge you to be your best self. And if you with a person that is doing that, then you have basically, arrived to a certain extent.
Oh, that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah.
So
it challenges you to be a better person, to grow, to come out your box, to think differently, to not just be so self-centered and selfish, but to think about another individual and another person, and actually put somebody before yourself.
Absolutely. I call that the palace of humility.
Okay. Say that again. I like that.
Yeah.
The palace of humility.
The palace
you have to live in the palace of humility.
Wow. Interesting conversation.
I like that. Yeah. I do. I like that.
I'm just kind of curious. What did you used to do? What kind of work did you used to do before you retired?
Did you say you were retired?
Before I retired. Yeah, I'm retired now.
So
okay.
You're school teacher?
I was in forensics.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The palace of humility. And I think that, when you're single, a lot of times you kind of abandon the concept of, being there for someone else and not being selfish, right? But when you're in a relationship, it just really challenges you to think about the other person, put someone else before you. And those things you will not have unless you have relationships. And it's not the same as your friendships, because like your friends, typically y'all are like-minded, you think of the same, and you're not making life choices and life decisions with your best friends.
Even with your friends may agree with you when you know good and well that you're wrong.
That's true, because what you do don't affect them directly, But when you're in a relationship, it's like, especially if you're like living together, you find out all the different things about an individual,
That's a story for another show too.
Absolutely. I want to leave you with that because I'm sure you can chew on that some more. Mm-hmm. And thank you for letting me call.
Oh man,
thank you so much, Greg. And if you're not subscribed, please go subscribe to Juicy Talk on YouTube. And I really appreciate your comment.
Like
the Palace of Humility. I like that.
That was an interesting call. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you as well. Bye-bye. That was good. I mean, because I definitely feel like when it comes to relationships, we have a tendency to not grow. They do challenge you to grow.
Kim says.
Okay, so we got some things. Let's see what people are saying. Okay, he said you're going to go through that with anybody you get with. True. It would be nice to have a companion, but the right one. Absolutely. Yeah. I seen this meme on Facebook, and it talked about the partner you choose, how much the partner you choose affects your life. Like, it is the greatest decision that you'll make, because depending on who you choose, they can make you or break you.
Yeah.
And that is
so true.
So true.
Yeah, it can drain you too. It could be
it could jack you up. You could be with the wrong person and you be messed up. Hey, Darnell, what's up?
So,
Yes, he need multiple. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Who wants to live life lonely and not able to share and grow with each other?
that's true.
That's very true. And you know what's so funny about that is I always think, a lot of people say they want to be single or they love being single. And then we hear, women say they love being single. I'd rather be single. But we're always looking for somebody. Like, I think that's like one of the things that people always never lose the desire for, and that's to be loved, to love and be loved.
Absolutely.
It's something that we always want.
I kind of want to piggyback what you said.
Mhm.
Sometimes people bring out the best in us.
Mhm.
Our partner could bring out the best in us and see that other stuff people don't see in us. So I think that was good. I like that.
Yeah, me too. All right. He needs a stable of woman. He need multiples. Who is he talking about? You?
I have no idea.
You need a stable.
I don't need no stable.
Who are you talking about,
I don't
Asantiel?
know. That's your, I don't
Who
know
been
him.
there?
Let's see.
Who need a stable? The con for me is I love to actually be in a relationship for family day. I have a son. I would love for him to be in a family environment where I can come home to him daily. My parents are married. And I think that if you are a person who have grown up in a household
Mhm.
with a family, that desire never leaves. Like
Yeah.
my parents were married for 30 plus years. I grew up in a, you know,
That's
large
yeah.
family, a lot of brothers and sisters. So, that was a family. The family unit and family is important to me too. So I get that. 38 years. That's a beautiful, wow, that's a long time. The palace of humility. Now that is a word. Yes,
Hey,
thank you, Greg. It definitely was a word. Okay,
hey,
what's
Bokeh,
up?
what's up? Yeah.
Mm, Definitely, being in a relationship definitely gives you a sense of awareness
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah, sometimes that happen. And look, sometimes relationships don't work. I think that we have this mindset. A lot of people just had this mindset that if a relationship doesn't work, then it has to be a person who is at fault.
Mhm.
And just to me, people grow, you change.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
And
absolutely. Yeah.
sometimes in that change, you don't work out.
Mhm.
Like my ex-husband is a great person. I don't have anything negative to say about him. We just grew apart. And
Absolutely,
it
that's
was
possible.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just
very
okay.
possible.
Your paths take two different journeys, and
Mhm.
that's all right.
Mhm.
Especially if you can keep a sense of friendship.
Mhm.
Relationships should help us grow.
Oh,
The best ones do. Hey, Chaz. Yes.
let's see.
Mhm.
Mitchell. Let's see. Mitchell.
Okay, Boogie. Jay Boogie been checking you guys out. Hey, Karen Blackshear. Out my show
That's my
top and
aunt.
I'm cleaning my stove. Okay, so you must be in a relationship. Being single can make you numb in relationships. You can become where you don't trust easily. You can become complacent, which is true. To being single, you have to tread carefully and cautiously when you decide to let someone in your personal space.
Wow. Facts. Facts. Those are facts.
Ooh, the wrong person will take you where you do not want to go. Hey, hey, hey.
You got Woody.
Woody,
What
Woody
up?
Wood. I got on a scent, a fragrance from Woody Wood. If y'all looking for some good smelling
Fragrance.
oils and fragrances, he is the guy you want to see.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Put in the chat the name of your company, Woody.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. All right. So we're gonna get straight into it because we did talk about, control of your social time, health. Single people are more likely to be fit and healthier than people in relationships. So we talked about the the pros, and we kind of started on the cons.
I know, right?
So, what do you think some of the cons of being single is?
Let's see,
What you think?
spending time with that person, right?
What's some of the cons, the things that you find more difficult in being in a relationship? Hardy.
The arguing part. You don't.
You think, I mean, you're not arguing with nobody when you're single.
Oh, well, but you
So
said.
I'm saying, what's the cons? What's the things you don't like about being single? Maybe you ain't the person to ask, since you have been single for like 20 years.
That ain't funny. That is not funny.
It's by choice. Is it by choice?
Yeah. Yeah, it has been. It really has been. I know some people say I could be a piece of work, but I don't think so. But
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I think anybody can.
Mm-hmm.
So,
again, but again, it goes again. Like I know I say this, but it's all about how you vibe with a person.
Somebody said, Mr. Julius, do you think dating women as they are older is better, or is it the same as 15 years ago?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
I know. You know what? I got an answer for that.
What is that?
I think it's older. I think dating women older is better for me. It works out better for me.
So now that you're older, you think that dating now is better?
Yeah, I think so.
What makes it better, Hardy?
Because I think we're done playing the games.
Yeah.
We're kind of more settled. We know what we want, what direction we want to go. We're tired of dating multiple people. We sit down and have more discussions as the relationship grows. I think a level of maturity happens. I think that's how. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. Good question.
Mr. Julius, do you think? Okay, that was that. Okay, that's Woody's business. Live quiet, smell loud, hit fragrance bar. Yes, very, very nice. Yeah. I get all my smell goods.
I know, right?
From Woody. Yes. Sharing important news with that person. That's one of the pros, right? Yeah. Okay. So I agree with you. Cons would be the longer you wait, the picking gets slim when you meet individuals with denture.
Oh man, that's not.
Hey, my dad.
Baby. You ain't said that in a while. Baby,
listen. Let me just say this. My dad used to always say that you get your first set of teeth when you were a kid. No, when you were a baby. He said you get your second when you become a little bit older, in your teenage years, He said, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get a third pair. He talking about dentures.
Oh, okay.
As you're older, you become stable. Issues are different. I think what you want changes too. I think what you want changes too. As you get older, what you desire in relationships change. Like when I was younger, I don't think I cared as much about the inner parts of a person. Like looks matter less to me. And the most important thing to me at this is how do you operate? Like,
how do you move?
Can I feel safe with you? Can I be vulnerable with you? Will you protect me? And I'm talking about not just physically, but emotionally.
Absolutely.
Those things are more important. Can you pray for me? Can you encourage me when things are going bad? Can you motivate me to be the best version of myself? Those things are more important to me now that I'm older dating. When I was younger, I just want them to be fine. You know what I'm saying? Fine, maybe have some money, be a little interesting. Like now, I want somebody that really shows up as my friend. Can I depend on you? Am I the first person you think about? You
In the
know,
morning,
like
right?
when
Throughout the
when you
day.
get good news, or if you're sick, or you know, if you are anything. Am I the first person you think about? You know, those things are, I want you to see me as a person, not just, you know, a trophy, or, you
Mhm.
know, the pretty girl on your arm. I want you to really see me for who I am, like the deeper innermost parts of who I am as an individual. Those are the things that matter to me
Absolutely.
now. I am not. I am 45. I am not that young. You know, black don't crack. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's see. I'm having this is
Oh, listen, dating has become more work than enjoyment. And yes, looks count. My daddy always said, be sure you can wake up to the ugly.
yeah, that's
Looks
true.
change. You could be the most beautiful woman in the world. This is going to be so sad. Can I just be real?
Uh-oh.
Listen, this is about to be crazy what I'm
What's
about to
that?
say
Uh-oh. Let me
about looks. This is my theory on looks, right? Y'all know Jasmine Guy, right? From
Who?
a different world.
Yeah.
She was fine.
I know.
Like
She
she
looks
was
so
so
bad
fine. And
now.
now she done aged, you know. Those looks fade. My point is looks fade, you know. You gotta have something different. Cause I feel like if you really like that person for who they are on the inside, all that other outside stuff ain't gonna matter. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said I'm having technical difficulties tuning in today, guys. This way. So if you're saying anything to me, I'm not ignoring you. My connection keeps freezing.
Okay.
That's all right. We still here with you. Yes. Chastity. The more mature I become, I'm very clear on what I will accept and will not tolerate. Yes, Juicy is right. Emotional connection is important. I mean, to me, it's like at the top now.
Mhm.
Like it's at the top. I mean, it's more important. It's like the most important to me. Um, because I don't care how good you look, if your soul is not right,
Mhm.
ugh, I don't care how much money you got. If your soul is not right, it don't
Yeah, but
work.
I think men feel the same way too. I think we're not restricted ourselves to money, or
Mm.
we don't look at money anymore. We look at what you bring. I don't want to use that phrase, what you bring to the table. But do you bring joy to my life? Do you make me happy? Are you the first
Say
thing
that.
person I think about when I'm
Mhm.
at work? I'm having a bad day. Are you the first person I want to reach out to? And if you can say yes to those answers, those questions, that's a good chance that you have a good person.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the cons of being single to me is a lack of support.
Mm.
Um, you don't have a lot of when you're single, you don't have a lot of people to turn to in crisis that you know a lot of times we don't feel that comfortable sharing our innermost.
Mhm.
We might have one or two people that we feel really comfortable sharing the darkest parts of who we are and the things that really bother us, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you got to be real careful with that type of information and who you can share those things with. But I feel like that's one of the things, like when you have a life partner, that's one of the cons of being single to me, because I feel like when you have a life partner, you have somebody that knows you and can say, "Oh, what's going on with you? You're not yourself today," you
Absolutely.
know, and something's happening, like, you know, and they can just see you for who you are. And you can have friends that have that type of relationship with you, but when you got somebody that you can really trust in your corner and you can share the innermost parts of you and they still protect you and cover you, that top tier.
Baby.
That's baby.
I know
That's
you ain't
top tier.
top tier, right?
Hmm. All right. Some
What's
people
this, Rock
don't
the
age
Crowd?
well.
What's this, Rock the Crowd?
Mm. What's up, Rock the Crowd? Hey.
Okay. Got some new people in the building.
Yes. When you're single too long, family and friends begin to think, what's wrong with you? Are you gay? Oh,
Wow.
but that's a real thing though. Like when you single, they think something is wrong with you. I've heard guys say that if they meet a woman and she has never been, you know, like
You're
she
married.
hasn't been in a relationship, something wrong with her. She don't have no kid. If she don't have any kids and she's not in a, she hasn't been married before. I mean, them red pill guys say that all the time. Like if she don't have any
red pills.
Yeah, y'all know the red pill community. Y'all know them guys that I'm glad you don't know about them. That's good, Artie.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Somebody said when you're single, you don't have an emergency contact. You sign your mom and your daughter. Yeah.
Who said that? Oh,
okay. What you mean? Say I judge people like that too. Really? Okay. You gotta. I know a lot of people that do. They judge people if they don't have children or
I don't have
a
children.
relationship.
Miss Wells, I don't have children. Well, I don't have children. What does that mean?
So she says she judged people like that too. I don't judge people like that because I feel like it's a lot of circumstances that come with that. But I do understand though, and I will say that when you have children or you have been married before, it opens you up in a different way to see the world differently. Like those type of really close relationships change you. We got a caller.
Oh, okay. I like when we get calls.
Hello. Welcome to Juicy Talk.
Hey, this is Linda. I'm over here cracking up. Listen.
Why are you laughing, Linda?
Where you calling from?
Where you calling from, Linda?
I'm sorry. Okay. Originally, I'm from Cleveland, but I'm working in Philadelphia.
Oh. Hi, Linda.
Hey, okay.
So you calling from Philly in the building.
Philly, okay.
Yeah, and listen, I've told people to tune into your show. So
Thank you.
Maybe some other Philly people fall in. So
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is because you're welcome. But listen, the reason I'm laughing is because I was married for 15 years, right? And I was in a very abusive marriage. And so I had to go through this phase where I had to rebuild myself, right? And I became so focused and I began to work on myself, peel back my layers.
Oh, wait a minute. Say that again, because what she was saying was so important. Say that again.
Yeah.
You said...
Yeah, I had to peel back my layers, right?
No, go back from the beginning. I'm sorry. They couldn't hear you.
You said 15 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I was married for 15 years, and I was in an very abusive marriage, right? And that marriage allowed me, I won't say allowed, it put me in a position where I lost myself, right? So after the marriage was over, I had to begin to do work on myself. I'm going to try to make a long story short.
Okay.
So I had to peel back my layers because I became a very bitter and angry woman. I was like, what? I don't want to be with a man. I'm done, and my grandmother told me that's not what life and living is about. She said, you need to get rid of that poison, peel back your layers and deal with you and figure out how you want to go. So long story short. So I was married for 15 years and I just became so career driven. Like all I did was work, right? And I just lost sight of wanting or having a relationship until I lived in Hawaii for 3 years and I went through this spiritual journey. So long story short, then, I have friends that wanted to set me up on blind dates. And, the big question is, well, what's wrong with you? Why can't you be in a relationship? Because hell, I don't want to be. And I have the option to pick and choose who I want to be with.
Absolutely.
But you know what I'm saying? But it's so funny because then you have people like aunts, uncles, cousins saying, girl, I know somebody who wants you to meet, and I think it'd be a good fit for you. And then you meet that person, you be like, now I know good and damn well, I didn't want to date a midget.
You said, I know good and well, I didn't want to date a midget. I can't with you.
No, I am being, that's not figuratively, that's literally. Somebody let me on a blind date with a midget.
Get the heck out of here. Stop it.
Right?
Alinda.
I kid you not. It was a friend that I worked with at the hospital, right? And I'm saying to myself, okay, really? Did I look thirsty or something? And she said, well, damn, she said, you want a man, don't you?
I mean, midgets need love too.
Well, they do.
That is hilarious.
I mean,
wait a minute. First of all, before we get on, little people, I need to know how tall you are.
Okay, so
How tall are
I'm
you?
5'2".
Okay.
I am 5'2", right?
So he
I'm
might
5'2",
have
and at the time, I weighed like maybe 125, 130. So I'm sitting in the parking lot because we talked on the phone, and he said, "Well, let's just break the ice. Let's just meet." Right? So I'm thinking, okay, we can meet. So I'm sitting in the parking lot in Starbucks. This is in Texas, right? And I'm talking to my girlfriend on the phone, and she said, I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Susie, oh, that is the cutest thing." I said, "This little midget just drove by in a convertible Mustang." And so he said, "Aw." So we kept talking. So all of a sudden, I see this head bopping through the cars, and I said, "Wait a minute, girl. I think he's coming over."
Girl, he for me. Girl, hold up. He for me, girl.
Wait,
you cannot make this stuff up.
And I said, no, actually, I said, "Oh shit, he's coming over here." And he comes into the car and he introduced himself, and I said, "Oh God, I can't. I don't want to embarrass this man." So I went through with the blind date.
So you actually went out with him?
Embarrassing.
You went out with him?
I mean, I met for the blind date, right? Mm-hmm. But what was embarrassing is when we went into Starbucks, right? They had these high stools at the table. So he had to literally climb up, and I said, "Oh, this is not going to end well tonight."
You know what, Alinda? Now I'm gonna have to be real with you, sis.
Sorry.
Now, what if that was your soulmate?
Right.
Okay, and you turned him down because he was short. He might have been the most amazing man, and you ain't even give him a chance.
Well, baby, do it.
You know what?
Well, baby, do it.
He was he could do some hair. Do you hear me? He was a hairdresser. That didn't quite work well for me. And I was like, no. So I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna stay single until I feel like God brings me the right person, because
God did bring you the right person. He just happened to be short.
I'm just kidding. A height requirement. That's all.
No. I finally got the right person because I chose to be patient.
Oh.
And I had to be patient, and I had to work on me. And I figured out the formula to it was, I think God was saying, I'm not going to send you nobody until you get right with you.
Oh. Well, guess what, Alinda? That is the journey I am on. I am on the journey of self-discovery and really being truthful to myself about my wants and my desires. Let me ask you a question, because I feel like as women, we do this a lot. I feel like a lot of times, and y'all let me know in the chat if y'all agree, I think a lot of times as women, we end up being in relationships with the guy that picks us. And I know they say the man who finds a good thing. But I feel like a lot of times as women, maybe we should be choosing, like, a guy will choose us, right? And then we'll end up talking to him. And it's like, well, and we end up compromising in some type of way because that's not what we actually would have chose for ourselves. And because he picked us and he showed interest, it's like, okay, he ain't got this and he ain't got that. And he needs to grow in this area and he doesn't, and he does, but he got this one thing good or these 2 or 3 things good. So I'm going to stick it in. And before you know, you done lost 2-3 years of your life,
Yep. So get this. I'm going to share this. I'm going to let you guys go.
Okay.
I set my standards and expectations so high because just because I was making 6 figures didn't mean God was going to bring me a 6-figure man. Mm-hmm. But he brought me a 6-figure man that was good at heart. That meant that even though he may not make 6 figures, he would give me a 6-figure relationship and make me feel like I should feel and be treated as a woman. So I had to come outside that box of saying, I want a man that's going to make me equal, because that man that made me equal may not bring everything or check all my boxes, but he gives me what I need to sustain myself as a woman and be proud to say that I have a man.
That's everything.
Yeah, that's right.
That's everything.
We talked about that a couple weeks
ago.
About checking the different boxes.
Right. Because I tell women all the time, stop saying that you want a man to make 6 figures. Do you got 6 figures in your bank account? Do you make 6 figures?
You got $6 in your account. How about that?
You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes that standard just gets too high. And then sometimes we overlook the man that may give us the world, but he may not have much.
That's true.
And sometimes it takes a compromise in order to meet halfway in that road. So, I tell my daughter all the time, sometimes you got to take a look at yourself, because maybe what you bring in, that 6-figure man ain't going to want.
I was going to say, anyway, it's a lot. I'm going to just say this. It's a lot that come with people who make a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Or who have, it's a lot that come with that. I know a lot of women like, I want a 6-figure. Right. I know the rest, but it's a lot to come with that, honey. If he got enough money to pay for you, and people, they're used to getting what they want. They're used to having their way. They're used to not being told no, and they're used to paying for what they want.
Well, I'm not like that.
No. I said men. I said men.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have that. They're used to getting what they want and not being told no, and putting money on it. They buy what they want, And a lot of times it's a lot that come with that. Like, people don't know. Like, just like he was buying you, taking you on trips, he be done with you tomorrow and taking the next trip. Just like that, dismiss you, and that you become a possession, especially if it's a person who have a lot of other things. He's possessing you, just like he's doing cars, boats, and all kind of other stuff. You become a possession.
That's right.
And they be arrogant as all get out.
You're right, because that man that making over 6 figures, he knows that he can go pick any woman that he wants. He knows that.
Mm-hmm. I've heard some. What's that one comedian guy? What's the one who always be talking about women real bad? I can't. His name escapes me. Y'all know he's real controversial. He was just on the Shay, but he was basically Corey Holcomb. Is that his name?
Corey Holcomb.
Is that his name?
I think that's him.
Yeah, well, he was basically saying that as long as there's broke women, he'll be okay. Corey Holcomb, yeah. He said as long as broke women exist and he got money, he can have anything he wants.
Yep.
And I just was like, wow. There's a lot of men with money who think like that.
Yep.
All right.
That is the truth. Anyway, you guys, thank you.
Thank you.
For calling in.
Yes. I mean, I like sexy arrogance. It is a little. It is. I know it's a difference, though. Yes, it's.
I think we got to get away from. I don't want to say get away from our type, or we got to look for that tall dude, or that he's got to have this. He got to have long hair and all that. I think I got. When I was younger, I wasn't in back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Dark men wasn't in back then.
Oh yeah, y'all hot now.
I know, right?
Everybody want the chocolate.
They was calling me Black Jesus in high school and all that. But now, I don't know.
Was that a compliment?
I guess.
I don't know. Michael says, "Hey guys, it's no fun being single, but at least I sleep good at night."
Ooh, all right. Michael.
What's up, Michael? It's your first time watching.
Thanks for calling. Appreciate that.
I went to a Corey Holcomb concert back in 2016 and fell asleep. Dang. This is the thing. I think he's funny too. It's some things, that are very funny, but he wasn't being funny when he said what he said. He said he was not cracking jokes. He was being dead ass for real.
He cursed a lot, right?
I don't know if he cussed a lot, but I just know that he definitely feel like he was like, as long as broke women exist, I'll always have a woman in my bed. Basically, I mean, that's what he was basically saying. He is funny, but he wasn't. You said he's TV funny. I don't
Oh.
think he made for TV.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he made for TV at all. He too controversial. He's definitely a woman basher. Yes. Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
I gotta check him
basher.
out. I think I've seen him before.
We talked about social pressure from family and friends saying that you need to be married. But we ain't talk about the fact that being single, you know, you don't regularly have sex. Lack of intimacy.
Say that again?
I mean, people who are single, they don't have consistent sex because they don't have partners.
Oh. That's a story.
Podcast funny, yes.
Oh.
She said, judging men that haven't been married. She said if you haven't been married, why you can't keep a steady relationship? I can listen to the story. However, certain relationships that close grow us. I do agree. I agree.
So
I
I assume Ms. Wells been married before?
Have you been married before, Ms. Wells? I think close relationships bring certain things out of you. I think that I even think having children brings something. Yeah, she's been married before. I think that having children brings something out of you too. Like I feel like children teach you about just putting people before you. You know, I think there's other ways that you can learn that lesson, but it changes who you are to a certain extent. Like you see things different, your priorities change when you have children. It's a different type
when you
of
have
love.
kids, I think it's really not about you. It's about the kids because you want your kids to get off to a good start.
It should be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be. Mm-hmm. Everybody, all parents are not created equal, but that's how it should
facts.
be. Mm-hmm.
Facts.
It's how it should be.
Facts.
I agree. 23 years. That's a long time. What? So, lack of intimacy when you're single, you're not consistently getting it, to experience tenderness and love.
Unless you love yourself. Does that count?
No, that ain't the same.
Oh.
I mean, what y'all think? It's not the same.
Nothing wrong with loving yourself.
It's not the same. Ain't nothing wrong with loving yourself. But I'm just saying that.
Can I say that?
You already did.
Oh, I did
if you
say
couldn't,
that
you already did.
Just keep on loving me. By the Whispers.
Chatty said, a long-term relationship with an adult daughter. These relationships grow me so I question when a man can't keep that. Okay. That's deep.
Okay, that's different. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she said. Okay. Yeah, we do. We have individuals who want an open relationship with multiples, but
wow.
I think that I got a lot of feelings about that. I don't even know if I should discuss that because I got a lot of feelings on that because I feel like we set that scenario up. A lot of that is women fault.
You want to touch on that real quick?
I mean, you can say what you got to say.
I was going to pick it back behind you.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You first.
Okay. But, I guess it is advantage to have multiple people dating. I have a friend of mine. He's going through that right now. He's dating multiple people. And he likes it. And it seems like the two girls don't have any problem with it, though. And they know of each other.
He's having sex with two women.
Yeah, and they
because that's different than dating multiple people.
Okay. Well, he got to be dating both of them, right?
He in a relationship with two women. That's different than dating. Because dating, to me, in my opinion, we talked about this on the dating show. Go back and watch Dating in 2024 because we talked about this. Right. But I would say that to me, dating multiple people has nothing to do with sex. Mm-hmm. That's like you're going out on dates, you're getting to know a person, you're talking to them, you're figuring out who they are and if they're compatible with you.
Right.
That's multiple. Asante said they got multiples too. Maybe
They
if
do.
they
I
if they
believe
okay
that.
with
Yeah,
it, they
they
probably do.
They probably
Probably.
do. Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I believe-
Gerald agreed with you. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself. We
Hey,
should
what's
love
up, Gerald?
ourselves. We
What's
should
up, my
love
man?
ourselves, but
Thank you for thanks for writing in,
not too
Gerald.
much though. I know I said that.
You a mess. Oh, let's see what it say.
That's what I just said. Cons of being single: lack of consistent,
Oh,
lack of genuine
God.
connection to share deeper experiences with. I agree.
Miss
I
Wells,
just said
Miss
that. Lack of
Wells.
intimacy.
Lord. Where's she calling from?
Yeah, I mean they probably do, but my thing is,
What's up, Eric? We got Eric Flynn in the building.
what's up, Eric Flynn?
Yeah, we played baseball together back in the
Okay.
day.
Yeah,
All my
thing
friends is calling, and I appreciate
about-
everybody.
What's up, y'all? I will say that dating multiple people, like I feel this is how I feel about it. I feel like a lot of that stems from women tolerating men having multiple partners, forgiving them over and over again for being cheaters and stuff like that. What you don't, and now I'm not against like polygamy or anything like that. If that's what you, if two or three or four or whatever
folks,
people,
grown
people agree on something, and that's their business. But it is a problem when you didn't agree on it and it ends up being the story. And then
absolutely. I
I'm definitely not gonna say I haven't been a woman that forgave a man for cheating on me and still staying with him. But I will say my today's standard won't tolerate that. I think that you teach a person how to treat you, and when you tolerate negative behavior and dishonesty, because it's bigger than the act of, I'm just gonna say a dick and a pussy. You know, it's bigger than that. It's more about. I'm sorry, I had to be raunchy.
I know, right?
I wanted y'all to feel me when I said that,
but
it's more to it than that. It's more about honesty and respect. And when a person can't give you that, cut that shit.
Yeah, especially that respect. That respect goes a long way.
Yeah. And sometimes it don't, I'm gonna say that sometimes it don't come from a place. Yeah, you train people how to treat you. You do. And sometimes it don't come from a place of low self-esteem or having standards. Sometimes it don't even come from that. Sometimes you just think that you're compromising to get what you want, or you playing a game, or maybe you think you want something, but then you turn around and you find out that ain't really what you want. Because people are insatiable. So if you give a little, they want more and more and more and more and more. So it end up not getting you what you really want. Yeah. It ain't always about low self-esteem. Sometimes it's just about, compromising your integrity and your moral beliefs. But sometimes forgiving people for things that they dishonor you by doing, don't.
Yeah, leave them on the wayside.
Chop it. It's better to be able to look at yourself in the mirror than deal with some.
Don't be a fool for nobody.
Karen said you agree, Julius. Well, what part?
What part,
Karen? I love putting Julius on the spot.
Yeah, Karen.
What part you talking about?
How you doing? First of all, how you doing, Karen? Karen,
what part you want to know what he agree with? Delta said he salute brothers in a relationship with multiple women. One woman is enough to deal with. I will say some men are in relationships with multiple women, but they really can only handle one. And a lot of times, if you really think about it, both women are not being satisfied. And I'm not just talking about sexually. Somebody's taking a back seat. Somebody is not getting everything that they desire. Because if you could focus on her, then when you focusing on her, you can't focus on me. And if you focusing on me, you can't focus on her. Somebody is taking an L and not getting what they need. And that means that she's going to go get it from somewhere else. I'm just saying. EO. Being transparent. She said, "What do you think about being transparent?"
I think it's absolutely got to be transparent, especially now.
Mm-hmm. Chastity said, "Yes, you are speaking on that, Juicy. I don't think it's a low self-esteem most of the time. Many times we think it's forgiveness until we realize that our hearts is our responsibility as women." Definitely, we are responsible for our own happiness, and sometimes abandonment has nothing to do. I'm go ahead.
Oh man, you
I
about
got
to
something
go.
I want
I
to
see.
read to
It's,
y'all.
it's such a
I'ma
nerve
try.
with that.
No, it's not that it touched the nerve. It's just that I feel very
Strong
passionate
about that.
about it. I just feel like we as women, we just should not compromise ourselves. This is what I'm going to read to y'all. Abandonment. It's not just abandonment. It's just not someone leaving you. It's also someone not meeting your needs, someone not respecting your boundaries, someone not keeping their word, someone not reciprocating the love you give, and someone not valuing your presence. Abandonment is not just about those who fail to show up for you physically, but also about those who fail to show up mentally and emotionally. That part. And that's why I say don't compromise for somebody that will not respect you enough to show up for you emotionally. That is abandonment. If somebody deceives you, tricks you, um, signs you up for one thing and do another, that it's best to cut it, because
Right.
if you forgive them, they're not going to change. They might play cool for a while and then they're going to go back to,
To what
because
they
we
used
are
to.
people of habit.
Mhm.
So if they don't have it, they ain't going to get it. Because if they got it, they're going to have it before they get you. I'm just saying.
They just being messy, huh? That's what she said.
Okay? Flat out. I gave it before, Delta. Emotional support is someone who is, when you're vulnerable, they are keeping you safe. Emotional support is, I'm operating not in my highest level of self, and you help me get back to where I'm supposed to be. Showing up is being present for me emotionally. That means that you cover me, you pray for me, you are allowing, I can be vulnerable with you, and you don't get mad and upset, but you reassure me. If I'm like tripping because of my abandonment issues, or something that has happened to me in my past that is showing up, this is not how I operate on a regular basis, and I need reassurance from you as my man, then you're saying to me, you know what, baby, you think you feeling insecure because of whatever the situation is. This is what it really is, and giving and explaining to me what it is, not coming to my level. If I'm clocking out, somebody got to be able to be the person that stands up and rises above the bull crap. Everybody's going to have bad days. If I'm having an off day, be able to speak life into me to bring me back to the place that I'm usually at. And I should be able to do the same for my partner or my mate. I think that's what I'm talking about when I say emotional support. Being able to be each other's sounding board, but also each other's person that you can correct me when I'm wrong. And when I'm not operating in the space that I'm usually operating in, you make sure that you're speaking life back into me and you bring me back up to the standard that we have set for ourselves in our relationship. That's what I mean. I believe people need to be transparent. If you're seeing other people, let it be known, period. Most people are selfish. Exactly. They want what they want. I believe most people aren't comfortable being single, therefore they rush into relationships to fill the void. When you single, one of the things that I would say that you have to deal with when you single, because you said a whole word, Karen, is you have to deal with yourself. A lot of people jump from relationship to relationship because to be by themselves, they have to deal with all their deep, dark inner fears. Their fears of abandonment, their fears of being alone, their childhood issues that they never got help for. And so they end up always crowding themselves with space and people instead of really dealing with the issues that they have that they need help with.
Because
that's why therapy is important.
I think sometimes we have these conversations with the mate, you may come find out they may have the same issues, abandonment issues that you had. You really find out you really have a lot in common. I think I've had conversations with women, and we have talked, and like, I went through the same thing. And come to find out, it made the relationship even better. That's how I felt.
Delta said, "What if the man is there, but he don't know how to respond emotionally?" I think it's a lot of men who don't know how to respond emotionally. I think it's typical because women, we get to practice our emotions quite regularly from the time that we're young. We're told it's okay to cry, to feel sad, and men are told to hide
Hold it
their
in, right.
emotions a lot of times. But that's why I think therapy is so important. I encourage all men to get therapy. We take care, men and women alike, but especially men. They take care of their physical bodies. They're gonna go to the doctor, they're gonna make sure they work out, but they're not taking care of the most important part of their body, which is their mental health and their brain. And that's why, you have to learn how to deal with your emotions, deal with your issues and problems, deal with the things from the past so you can be a whole person and you can really show up for the people that you love in a whole and complete way, especially when it comes to your children, because they need that. They need a whole parent, not someone who's dealing with their emotional issues and taking it out on them because they frustrated. We got to be able to grow, and that comes from therapy. Like I'm very much a component of getting the emotional help you need. Yes, Chastity said emotional support. Listen to me without getting angry. Run me bath water. Listen to us with hugs. Tell me you got me.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. A lot of times we just need reassurance.
absolutely.
A lot of, I find that a lot of times, and people, I agree with Dr. Umar because he said it first, but when he talked about how men operate emotionally like women. Men are not supposed to be. He said men are supposed to operate in as a man, and that a lot of times men act like their mothers when they get angry and upset. They want to go off back with you. They want to, and he was just saying, for lack of a better term, and this is the term he used, that's bitch assness. And a lot of men don't operate in their masculinity, and they become feminine when it comes to, and they become feminine right along with the woman when it comes to emotions.
I think that comes from when women raise kids by themselves.
It's possible.
I think that's very prevalent.
But some men been raised by a single. They've been married with their children, but they was raised by a single woman, and so they operate like women when they're frustrated.
Absolutely. That's why, again, we always say this again. It's always important to male to be in a relationship. Always very important.
And this is true. I had Delta said I had conversations with brothers who are married. Sometimes they express that they're not the most affectionate towards their spouse, but they love them and provide for and protect. What are your thoughts? I think that this is common.
Yeah.
I think men feel like at one particular time, that was the requirement of men. It was to protect and provide, right? And that's what has been passed down through generations. And men taught other men to protect and provide. And that's not a bad thing.
Right.
But I think that women have evolved. We no longer need a provider because a lot of us are making our own money financially. We are stable. We're owning our own homes. We have careers and we're making good money. So our needs have changed. Now women need men who offer emotional support because they go work 40 hours a week, just like the man. They have stressors at work, just like the man. They're dealing with life problems, sick parents, all kind of other things, elderly parents. They're dealing with these things the same as the man and children, and they need, as well as the man, children as well as the man, and they need someone who is showing up for them emotionally because they have changed. Like we have evolved. We got guns and we We make our
I
own
mean,
money
we
now.
both can't. We both can't be broke down though. Somebody needs to be that stable person, and I think that's where the men come in. They have to be. They have to be stable for that woman to lean on though. We both can't be in the bedroom crying. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be that
Why
leader.
can't you? I mean, and can we cry together and then both encourage each other? I think that emotions and being vulnerable is not a weakness. I feel like it's a strength.
I get it.
I feel like when you're able to be vulnerable, it helps you grow and be a better person. I think that, most of the time, the men that come off the toughest are usually the most emotional and the most broken because
Mhm.
they can't deal with their emotions. They don't know how. And I feel like that's something that we need to reteach. That's why I encourage therapy so much because I think that we have to start healing from our past traumas. Like we've changed, like the world has evolved. We have, you know, life is not like it was before. And so now all of our needs, I feel like men need more emotional support than they did before. Ah, thank you, Frida. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think that men, Delta, this is to you. I think what men may think they are doing and what we really desire sometimes are different. That's why I appreciate you asking how to show up emotionally. Very true. Thank you. Yes, young boys are not raised to deal with our emotions on an in-depth intelligence level. If that makes, I agree with you
Me too.
100%.
That's why they. That's why they so
Yeah,
reckless
and
out
that's
here.
why everybody is losing they, for lack of better term, shit. Because we really need that. Like we
Yeah.
need to be teaching our children how to deal with their emotional trauma, their issues, how to express themselves, how to explain how they feel emotionally, and giving them a safe place to do it. Like and it can be so simple as just admitting fault and wrong. Like it's okay to be wrong. Like you ain't got to be hard all the time. We do.
But
We need reassurance. I think reassurance is so big, and I think it's the reason why most relationships break up. It's the reason why most people break up. But it's the easiest thing to do because we're all caught up in because we see reassurance. Like a lot of men feel like if they're giving a woman reassurance, that they're admitting some type of fault. Like she talking about she feel like she don't trust me, something is going wrong. I ain't even did nothing and she tripping. But in reality, she knows she tripping, but she's looking to you to help soothe that void or that abandonment that she might have felt from something else in her life.
mhm.
She's looking for you to give that to her so that she can grow from it. But she can't if you know what I'm saying? Like if you can't give that to her, then she can't grow. And it's simple to do. It's
but
just
some. I mean, but it's hard
it's
to.
like, oh, she checking me.
I think, like you said, we had talked about this earlier about the different layers. There's so many layers between relationships and people that we meet. We don't know how to really tap into those different layers because, like you said, we got so many different ones. So it's rough. It's rough.
Mhm. Being single has amazing benefits that are overlooked due to lack of mental wealth on your whole life. Mental wealth on your, I think, whole life before pursuing or having interest in sharing it with someone. And money is an illusion.
Mm,
Mhm. Money is not the most important
it
thing.
really isn't.
Yes, we want our men to lead us with love. Oh my gosh, Pam, that's so dope. Women want our men to lead us with love. Love me to life.
Mm,
Love me to life. Love me so much that I can't, because it's in our nature. I say this all the time. Whatever you give a woman, we give birth to things.
mm,
So, and it's in our nature to give birth. So whatever you give a woman, she's gonna multiply it.
mm,
She's gonna grow it. So if when you see men who love their women, you see a man is taken care of. You see them growing, you see them flourishing, you see they have businesses and they're able to accomplish a lot of things because they have relationships where the woman is loved. Women bring order. A good woman will bring order to a man's life. When you put a woman in her proper place, everything else in your life is going to line up, because she's going to, it's almost like in chess where the queen is the most important piece on the board, because she protects the king.
Absolutely.
And she can move all over. That's why it's so important. Like, your queen, when a king puts a queen in her proper place, she can operate in a way that will cause both of their lives to be better. Like, this man, if he don't do nothing but love his wife, she take care. She like this. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, he loves me. I can cry with him. I can confide in him. He got my back. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to take care of this. We're going to do this. Baby, I got you. Go run your business. Baby, I got you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to take care of the household. I'm going to make this money stretch. I'm going to show you how. We're going to do this. We're going to invest here. I got you. You ain't got to worry about your home life.
Right.
He's coming home to a safe, secure, happy environment so he can flourish, he can grow.
His mind is clear.
Yeah, his mind is clear. All of the issues and the problems outside, when he walked through that door,
it's gone. Right. Because his queen is provided a resting place for him. Mm-hmm. And that's so important.
And it's
so
important that he do the same for her.
Absolutely.
Because when she have that,
absolutely,
she gonna make sure that he always got it.
Absolutely.
This is how it is. An honest, transparent man who is strong, but yet some thug and professionalism mixed is attractive. Baby, listen. Baby, listen.
I got a little thug in me. You think a little? Do I?
Nope. But you don't need it though. But you know what?
I don't know.
No. You it come out when you get mad.
Oh yeah.
When you come out, you be
Yeah, I guess you're right.
When you get mad, it come out.
Change.
Yeah, he be like.
Mad. Yeah, I guess you're
when
right.
You get mad, it come out. Is it reassurance or approval with men? Explain that.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Bocat said, I think we want it from our partners, and that is not reality. I think we want it all from our partners, and that is not reality. Modern women act like they don't want men to lead, and modern men don't know how to lead beyond their eggplant. I don't agree with that, Bocat, and I usually always agree with you, but I do not agree with that.
That's not
I
true.
do feel like when a man, I think that most women who have to be strong in every aspect of their lives, that means professionally, they have to be aggressive or assertive. When they come home, they want the opposite. They don't want to think. They want to be able to rest in the fact that they man got them 110%. The strongest women are the ones who want to be soft. We want that. We want to be able to decompress and not have to worry about it. My man said he got it. I ain't got to think about that stuff when I'm with him. I be a boss when I go to work, but when I'm at home, I'm his lady, and that's all I want to do.
First lady, right?
It's first lady. That's all I want. That's what women really desire. So we definitely, and it's like nature for us. I think like when you find a man that really is know who he is and he's supporting you, you can't help but to submit to him naturally. It's when you can't really lead that you don't have that balance.
I really like what you said about how a woman takes something and she grows it. I like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I like that. I really like that.
Yeah. One should rather be in the company of someone with a host of attributes rather than money. Character stands higher and lasts longer than money. Absolutely. Money come and go. But as long as, like I always say, like, what's the saying? You can give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
Correct.
I feel like the same thing kind of applies when it comes to attributes. If you have the most wonderful attributes, money may come and go. Like even you might have money today and you might lose it tomorrow, but you'll always be able to go back and get it. So money come and go. You'll always be able to get to the bag.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, you'll always be able to get it because you're a thinker. You're going to be an innovator. Innovative. You're going to make things happen.
That's right.
You're going to have that hustle and that drive to do it. Those are great attributes of a person. The money is going to come. It's what is your character looking like? Those are the things that sustain and make lasting relationships. Some men may need approval, meaning affection and constant reassurance. I say if it's reciprocated, it ain't a problem.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true.
Heck yeah.
You say-
Absolutely.
You think a woman boss?
Absolutely. We listen. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm telling
You about to
y'all.
drop some gems on us?
I'm just saying, like, as women, when you have to be a boss in every aspect of your life, you do not want to be you want your man to lead you when you come home. You don't want to be a boss in your house. You want to be able to, you want to be respected, you want to be loved, and you want to be nurtured. You want to take all that off. And you want your man to treat you like you a lady. That's the stuff that gives balance. It's balance.
Right.
We lack balance because we don't have what we need. A lot of times women become bossy and aggressive out of necessity, not because they want to. As a woman that's an entrepreneur, please allow me to submit. I need that. Man. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Miss Wells?
Please, sir, I create space for my man to lead. I need to take my leadership hat off. Yes. I'm telling you, y'all better listen because this is the truth.
Wow.
We telling the truth on how we really feel. This is good messaging right here. Like this is this is us being transparent.
Absolutely.
And I hope the men are paying attention. Oh, I definitely have cried during a movie.
Hey, Miss Calhoun.
Beaches. That's my favorite movie. Bette Midler. Yeah, I want to take all that off. I want to be soft. I want to be a whiny little baby with my man. I want to be baby. Can you hug me?
Baby.
I want to be all of the soft, nurturing things with my man. Yes, thank you. Good night, beautiful people. Have faith and have God in your life. God has me. I'm not searching. I'm happy and content until God places the king in my life. And I want you to find him. My life until then. I'm cool. Have a blessed night. Absolutely.
That's James. Yes. That's beautiful.
Good night, Miss James. Yeah, I mean, we want to take that off, y'all. I need that. I do too. You know, listen, I don't have no problem. Matter of fact, when a man is leading, I'm gonna be like this. What you say, babe? Oh, okay. He can order my food. He can, cause he gonna know what I like. He can shop for me. He can dress me. He can do all of that. And this is what I'm gonna do. What you say, babe? Okay. That's fine. That's what I'm doing.
That's what's up.
You feel me? I'm sitting back and chilling. I'm chilling. Woo! That was good.
I know, right?
What you think?
That was good. We find it. Like
what's y'all takeaway?
Oh,
we want to be soft. We're the man that's gonna let us be soft. Man, take y'all position. Get healthy and heal. Take y'all position so we can chill out. We over here stressed out. We don't want it. We don't want this. I'm tired of being the boss. I am. I want my man to lead. I want him to take charge. But I want him to take charge and I want him to love me to life. I want him to love me to my best place and I want to give him that back. Because I think that when there's mutual respect, love, and understanding, we can give that back to each other. You know, it's an even exchange.
Right. I was about to say that. It's just
let's get healthy and heal, man.
I think it's just again, it's all about conversation. I
Lucky you, Sheila.
Oh, she has one. Huh?
She said she got her a good one. Baby, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
I love when a sister got what she need. I can celebrate with my sisters when they got that because I know one day I'm gonna have the same.
You are. You're a good person.
I think what is missing is chivalry, men practicing and women appreciating. I mean, that could be very well true.
Again, you know, I hate to use the same word, but it's all about conversation. You gotta have this conversation with these men and women. We just gotta have more deep conversations. What the expectations, what you willing to put up with, what you're not willing to put up with. Uh, uh, like you know, I love what you said about a woman how she births stuff. I love that term.
That's the truth.
It is. I love that.
You think a man must be established to lead you properly because
Mm.
financial stability plays a part as well?
Ooh.
I think that he has to have motivation to, he has to be self-sufficient because those are attributes of a man. He don't have to have a lot of money.
Right.
He just has to be willing to go do what he has to do to sustain himself. I feel like when a man and a woman come together on the same page, they are going to create wealth together.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, once a man gives a woman the love that she needs and she can rest in him,
Mhm.
she can then give birth. She buys into his vision. It's a very, like, when you have when a man has a vision for
Mhm.
his life and for his woman, even if he hasn't achieved that dream, what he does is he shares that vulnerableness with his woman. She buys into his dream, and then she helps give birth to that with him, and
Mhm.
they work together. They come together as one in their intimate close relationship, and they give birth to whatever their dreams and aspirations are. And it works like that. The breakdown is when we don't have that.
Mhm.
But when you have that, the money is going to come
Mhm.
because you are in agreement. And when you are in agreement with one another, you're able to create. You're able to, I mean, that's what we do. When men and women come together, right? On
We
a
could.
natural level,
Mhm.
we create. We make babies and they grow and they flourish, and that's what we do. So, in every other aspect, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we also create.
Sexually.
Financially, we also create. So when you have that with a person, y'all are going to create together. Y'all going to blossom. Y'all going to grow. You're going to make those things together. It's just about being with your person and finding your person.
Mm.
Crucial and critical conversations are a must.
Mhm.
Most men don't operate with emotional intelligence. They're more encouraged to be great leaders. Some may feel weakened considering that approach. And that is, I agree with you. A lot of men do feel like that, but that's why we need to change the scenario because like, that's why we have the problems that we have now is because we don't deal with that with one another, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of men are broke in so many different ways, um, and just life beats us up each and every day. And you
Mhm.
know, one of the things, like you said, we want to be able to come home and have refuge at home. We can't have peace at
Absolutely.
home. Where can we get it?
Yeah.
You know, home is so crucial. It's so critical in a man's life. I think relationships are very crucial to a man.
Mhm.
Like you said, you know, you want to find someone that can build, we will build each other up. And there's so much more you can do. There's so much you can do when there's two. You know, I
Mhm.
can accomplish so much more. When I probably can get a lot done by myself, but it's just if I add another person, I could probably just double what I have with another person that's thinking the same way I'm thinking.
Neo said it best. I'm a movement by myself, but we a force when we together.
Yeah. Okay.
He said it
He did.
best. I mean, that's just how I see it. I don't know. I'm gonna get off my soapbox,
No,
but
you good.
I
Good.
just feel like that's so important.
It
Like,
really is.
it's just like the true desire, and I feel like we just gotta listen to each other so we can get to what we really need. Like, we waste so much time um
Blah blah blah
not
blah blah
being
blah.
just,
Yeah.
just putting on a face. But when you have said, that's why I keep saying and stressing feeling safe, feeling emotionally supported, being able to be vulnerable with each other. Because to me, those are the things that really build a strong foundation. And that's why I like when we were talking about last week's show, go back and check it out. And practicing abstinence, I think that, just that's why I feel like putting sex on the table too early cheapens a relationship to a certain extent. And I'm not saying that that's the only way to get there, because I don't feel like, I got married to my husband, and we messed around very quickly. Okay. So I'm not saying he ended up being my husband. Right, exactly. So I'm not saying that there's not other avenues to get there. But I do feel like but we're also divorced. and I say that because not that I feel like when you take sex off the table, right? Mm-hmm. Or if that's not the main focus in a relationship, you really get to know who that person is without complicating things. Because even though we don't like to admit it, sex complicates things. If you're having sex with somebody and you realize he's not the right person for you, but you like sleeping with him, you might see 1,000 red flags, but you're going to ignore them because you've already been intimate with that person and y'all have already connected on that level, and you don't want to give that up. But if you have not, then you're able to really
get to know who he really
is. Get to know that person. Because see, I feel like men need to fall in love with who the woman is and not just sexually. Mm-hmm. He has to love her, because those are the things that's going to sustain her. If a man really loves a woman, he's less likely to cheat because he wouldn't want to put that hurt on her. I don't want her to hurt. That's I can't do that to her. I can't do that to my girl, because he really values who she is as a person. And I think those are the things that's why it's so important. Yeah, it's like he can't see you, because it's like once you give him once he has sex with you, he can't see you for who you are no more. And that's why, like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, my theory. But you know how you will meet a person. We got a caller. Okay. Hey, welcome to Juicy Talk.
At the end of the show, dog, I'm there. Sorry, but I was doing. I couldn't call earlier. I wanted to just say this real quick. Okay. I agree with you with the leadership, and boss chicks want to just be submissive and you treat it well and all of that. I think what I was trying to express is leadership is, in my opinion, from a man and woman, it is not a position. It's more of an attitude and commitment to the other person to ensure that they're going to be like that shield for, that woman. So in this case, a man and a woman, right? But the woman is also a leader in different aspects in that same home as well, right? Or I'm saying a home like marriage. But I was able to witness a female, it's actually my ex-in-law, where she was a homemaker, a housewife, like 17, and they've been married like 30-some years. Mm-hmm. And her demonstration of being submissive to her husband was very different than my demonstration to my husband. Not saying that it was greater than what I was able to, but I was a working woman, right, with children and schooling and all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to express that I think as a working woman, a career woman, mm-hmm.
we may want to be led because we're tired and we're dealing with all this stuff, right, in the world. But let that man make a decision that typically you would make as a female, and there's a problem. It was a problem for me.
What do you mean?
And so, like a good example was that this is just one quick example, but we each have strengths, right, and weaknesses within each other, right? So maybe the husband is not as strong in a particular area, let's say finances, right? Yeah. And so he made a move that sent me, like, I was raised by a banker, so it's like, what in the hell did you just do, right? And so it was not that moment where I was like, oh, honey, you made a mistake and I need you to fix this. Hell no. It was like, wait a minute. This move, first of all, yes, you are head of household, but this impacts me also. And there was no conversation. There was no thought process about it before you made the move. So I'm saying like that as one example of saying, like, all of the idealistic stuff, yes, that works. But sometimes in a relationship, being in control of and being independent in a way where you're working, you're responsible, you're leading teams, you're leading other people, and then you come home, it's hard to like take that off because that's who you are for a third of the day. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe for me, I'm single now, well, soon to be, but I'm trying to like rethink, you know, how I really feel. Like, is it just an idealistic thing?
Let's dissect that real quick. Can we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing you said is he made a financial decision, right? Without you. Right?
Yes.
And when you're in a partnership, you shouldn't make decisions without consulting the person that you love.
I agree.
That's not a matter of leadership. That's a matter of respect, right?
Yes,
that's number
for
one.
Sure.
And then number two, you said that, you know, you were very upset. You had a right to be upset because he did not honor the partnership, right? Now, number two, you said that you didn't know how you felt about that. You said, oh my God, I just didn't know as a woman, you know, I can handle that. I came from a baker, was raised by a banker. Mm-hmm. So you are financially savvy. One of the things about a relationship is, in a partnership, is understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses. When you have a true partnership, you understand each other's strengths and weaknesses and allow the person who is strong in an area lead in that area, and the person who's weak in another area, strong in another area, allow them to lead, right?
I absolutely agree.
And then,
and it was.
And then you said about making a mistake. We as human beings are always going to make mistakes, right? And one of the really important things that, and I'm telling you, I learned this from a failed marriage, right? One of the things that I always had a problem with, right? Because I'm pretty good with money, right? So one of the things that, and my father, I was raised by an accountant. My brother's a financial planner, right? So one of the things about me is that I realized that I didn't allow him to grow because I didn't allow him a place to make mistakes. You know, because I always took charge in those areas. He could never get strong in those areas because I always took charge instead of allowing him to make mistakes, because we learn from our mistakes. But if I would have supported him even in the mistake, right? And I might have, and if he would have came to you originally, you would have like, well, babe, I don't think that's a good idea. This is the reasons why. And if he said, babe, I still feel strongly about how I feel and I want to do it, you could have, the maturity of you would say, you know what? Even though I think it's a mistake, I'm going to support you in that area anyway. And whatever happens, happens. And what would have happened? He would have learned that that wasn't a good idea. And then he would have felt like you trusted him, and he would have thanked you for supporting him in that. And then he would have learned from that, and then he would have grown from that. I think a lot of times when it comes to relationships, we have to, like, we have mercy with our homegirls, we have mercy with our family, but we don't have as much mercy when it comes to male and female relationships. And I'm only saying
definitely true.
And I'm only saying that because that's what I learned. Like, I was the person, like, you know what? You ain't do it, I'ma do it. And I hindered him by doing that. And those are one of the and in his next, because my ex-husband is remarried now. In his next marriage, he doesn't do that. She just was like, oh, if we fail, we fall. And you got to deal with the burden and the responsibility of that bad decision. And guess what? He's learned from that, And so I would say that, that's the hard growing pains of relationships, right? But and that's why I feel like that true foundation matter. It's not that we don't still want those things, and feeling like you were upset or angry or frustrated and didn't know if you really wanted that. That was a human reaction or feeling. I probably would have felt the exact same way that you did. But how do you deal with that?
It was like repeat behavior too. So like this is 27 years too. So it was a very long time, right? Yeah. So you grow, you learn, you make mistakes, you grow, you learn again. It's constant, right? Then raising kids and going after careers and stuff like that. So it's a lot of history there. But one of the things that I noticed, like now, retrospect, when I look back, I do agree with you. I don't think we allowed each other to make mistakes, even in some of the areas that I made mistakes. But one thing I would say too is that, and this is only in my case, I can't speak for everybody else, but it's hard sometimes to see how a person is changing. And in the positive, you can see it very well, right? But those hidden things that you don't see, like the envy, the person that has insecurities about themselves, but they still have to like walk, strong and be strong in certain areas and wear a mask. And you don't see like the person dwindling away. And then sometimes that turns into that person being an enemy in your own household. Now that is a whole nother topic. No, but that's really what it turned out to be. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh, these moves were not necessarily, oops, I made a mistake. But it was more like this person became a saboteur. Some person is literally trying to sabotage growth and prosperity and happiness and all of these things because he hasn't dealt with the things that he needs to deal with. So I'm saying, like, as a leader, and we don't have any animosity either. So just as a leader, what I shared with him was that in those moves, right, even if he was embarrassed to say to me, hey, can you teach me how to this? Because I don't know how to do this. It's all sorts of resources that was available to him. And it's like, why wasn't that the move? Why wasn't it the move to go to your local bank and go to free classes and coaching classes and or whatever the issues were? You know what I'm saying? So to me, a leader is not just in title, right? It's like if you're embarrassed and you don't know something, okay, go at night, go to night school at night, or go, talk to your pastor, go talk to your financial advisor, go do whatever it takes to build yourself up as a man, and a woman, not just a man, but I'm saying like a leader, male or female, right? It's our responsibility to do the right thing and to have the commitment to like you said, respect the other person as a partner. But I just look at my situation versus like another situation is different people, but the demonstration, like he's made mistakes too, and she just kind of had to take it because she doesn't, she's in a different type of role. But if you don't have to take it, it is very hard for you to sit there and be like, okay.
To me, it just depends on how much you love the person, right? Because like when you really, and like what you said about, you said something about, you know, did you say he resented you for knowing or why he didn't go take classes?
Envy. Yeah, this envy, low self-esteem, all of that building up, jealousy, enemy of your own house. So we're not there now, but we can talk about it, right? Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, that's what it was. It was literally like a person against you in your own household. But the devil is busy. I mean, I'm a religious person. I believe in God. But I'm just saying, like, spiritual, I should say, not religious, but spiritual. And I would say that, human nature, that bad stuff that's in us is in all of us. But some of us are able to, dismiss those things and be more positive, whereas others, are consumed by their own desires and lack and all of this stuff. And they do bad things and make bad choices. So that's kind of just what it was.
I think that it's hard for us to grow, right? Naturally. And with growth, like even naturally, when you grow, there's pains that come with it. Like, I don't know, like when you're young and you're like my son, he was really short and he got really tall, like in a very short span of time. And I took him to the doctor because he would always complain about his legs hurting. And it was because he was having pain. And, the doctor was like, this is growing pains. It's a real thing. And I think that when it comes to relationships, right, that the biggest lesson is growth within ourselves, right? And learning to not want to, because it comes from a place of safety and not control every aspect and understand that there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? And that was something like for myself that over the years, I've had to learn because I always wanted, like, in order to feel safe, I used to, before going to therapy and dealing with that, I used to want to have control out of a place of wanting to feel safe, right? So I needed to control my environment in order to feel safe in that environment. Like because that's how I felt safe. And I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to jealousy and different things of that nature, it's hard for a person to step outside of themselves and really deal with their core hurts and pains and be vulnerable in that sense. And sometimes we don't even see ourselves, but in everything that we go through, we learn something from it. So I'm going to say in your relationship because I learned a lot from my failed relationship. So let me just say this. If there was one thing that you could share with our audience that you learned from, that relationship, what would you say?
Ooh, one thing. I would say, how I think someone said earlier that I think it was Linda, where she said she lost herself, right, and peeling back the layers. I would echo that and say it is a process for me doing that. And one of the things I would say is that I didn't really know myself as well as I thought that I did because I was so busy taking care of everybody else. And so this is the first time in my life as an adult, and quite frankly, since I was 15, that because I've been a mom since 15. So this is the first time in my life where I have to deal with me and only me, So I would say the one thing that I, am taking from it, which is a blessing. It's a hurtful process, but it's a blessing that at least I get the experience to know who I am, and really know me, not just my likes, you know what I mean, or dislikes, but really getting in touch with who I am and really, deep down, who are you, right? And it sounds like, cliches or whatever,
I
but
completely understand. That's
where I'm at.
Yeah, thank you for your call. That's one of the pros of being single is self-awareness. Yep.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you guys. Good show.
Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, y'all been going in the chat.
I know, right?
So I'm about to say some of this stuff. Can y'all hear us? Okay. A woman whose honor is for sale can never have any real interest in a relationship. In her eyes, there's always a contender. Very good. I agree with you. Sorry to say, but sounds like she wouldn't let a man lead. I don't think that's what the case is, Derek. I think that, a lot of times we have to learn about ourselves. Like, we're all human, and we just have to give each other space to really make mistakes. It's hard, because like I said, you want to keep your environment controlled a lot of times because it gives you a peace and a sense of safety, but it's false. Like, you learn so much through growth.
But I think one of the things was when I heard her talk, I think sometimes we gotta know what we're good at. Sometimes we need to relinquish some power to our partner. There are some things we may be better at, and it's okay.
That's
true.
What I'm saying?
Sometimes we gotta relinquish some power to
our
partners.
Let's be honest. Women are quick to jump ship, and divorces are filed the majority of times by women. So, to be honest, marriage is beneficial to younger men because the statistics is not on there. I don't know, Delta. I will say that it's a lot of statistics out there, and some of them say that men who get married live longer than men who are not married, and women who get married, it shortens the life of a woman when she gets married. And a lot of times that happens, and the statistics are there to support it. But a lot of times that's because women end up caring for everything else and not taking care of themselves. Yes. So I don't know. Yeah. I think that a lot of times when it's a lot of dysfunction that comes in some relationships because we don't self-examine. And that's why I really stress about being whole as an individual first before you enter to a relationship. And one of the key factors in divorces, when I hear a person say, I lost myself in a relationship, a lot of times I know that there was something that was unhealed or that you were unaware of in yourself. Because when you really know yourself, you can't lose you. You just can't. Because you're going to stand on your principles of who you are. And anything that stop you from being corely who you are, you kind of will back up from it, naturally. And maybe that's why a lot of women jump ship. Just a thought. I like the idea of family too. Delta is agreeing with you. Just Beats 100. Somebody said, how does a woman sell their honor? I missed it. I guess I'm not sure. You're gonna have to speak on that. Just Beats 100. Yes, Julius, relinquish some responsibilities. Agreed. So someone wanted to know what you mean by sell your honor. You could call in if you want, 216-245-3380. You can call in if you want. But yeah, I think that my ear itching. A lot of times, just be said. What's the point in leading without being able to make a conscious decision without huddling with your mate? That sounds like the leader is being led by the co-leader. No, I don't think that's it at
No,
all.
me
I
neither.
think that it's about respect. It's about if a decision you're gonna make is gonna affect me as well, why wouldn't you want to come to me?
That's right. I
Why
agree.
wouldn't you want to come to your partner? If the decision you are making for our lives is going to affect all of us, why wouldn't you want to come to me? Because I would want to come to you. I wouldn't want to not discuss that with you.
That's
Now
just
we
like
can
if I,
what true leadership, we come to each other, we discuss it. Now, as that leader and that man, if you said, hey, I know that you're not in agreement, but I still feel very strongly about it, and I'm going to make this decision. Then now, at that point, it's my job and my obligation to say, if this is the decision you want to make as a leader, I'm going to support you, good, bad, or indifferent. We rocking, but not coming to me. It just seems like just not. I wouldn't say lack of respect, but why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't you want to come to me? I'm your life partner.
Right.
I'm the person you choose to share your life with. Why would you stop when it comes to, if you share every aspect of your life with me, I done chose to live my life out on this earth with you. Why would you not want to share that with me? That's unfair. And that's something that I had to learn, by the way. Respect goes both ways. So this sounds like a trust issue. As a leader, you should trust the decision. I can trust your decision, and that's not a problem. But why wouldn't you want to discuss it with me?
Sharing
Like,
with your
why would
partner.
you want to keep that a secret? I don't understand that. There's another thing I'm tired of dealing with: unhealed women, because it seems like they have trauma. I attract women who are not complete. That drains me. I heard that before. I lost myself in relationships. Yeah, I mean, being in relationships, I hear a lot of people say that relationships drain them, both from men and women. I think that, I don't know. I kind of got mixed feelings about that, because I feel like some relationships can drain you in a way that is toxic and it's not appropriate and you need to get out. And then some relationships may feel draining, but it's not that you're being drained, it's that it's pain because they're asking you for growth. So you got to ask yourself, like, how does, if this person is asking something of me that I'm having a hard time giving them, why am I having a hard time giving it to them? If it's something that's reasonable and acceptable,
I think, I don't know if I could be wrong what he's saying. I think what he's saying is a lot of times you meet people and they have so much baggage. They bring all that baggage to that relationship. That's what's, I guess that's what he's talking about, is draining. At least that's how I took it. My man cheated on me. We just couldn't work things out. It was so much negative. It just took so much out of him. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that sounds like
exhausting. Yeah,
that would be exhausting. This was a great show.
Yeah. Good call.
We had a lot of great callers. We thank you for calling. I like when people call.
I just want to say again, all these new people that show up and write in, and we appreciate that. And just want to keep people subscribe, and we want this to grow. We want to bring you more dialogue, more product. So I just want to say thank you, and we see a lot of new people with Derek Smith. Appreciate you writing in, and some of our old people, not old people.
I want to answer, Derek, Delta Roots. Do you think I attract needy women because I lack something? I don't. I think that only you can really answer that.
Yeah.
But I think that sometimes you can attract needy people because you are an empath. Like you have a lot of empathy. So you have a healing spirit. So you attract people that need to be healed. But I think that um, sometimes you might not be there to be in a relationship. Maybe you're supposed to just be a friend.
Just to
And maybe you end up making it a relationship. That's why I feel like it's important not to introduce sex right away in a relationship, because then you will find out what type of why this person is in your life. Does a general huddle with the troops, or do the troops follow the general? Does a general huddle with the troops, or do the troops follow the general? The general, if he a good general, he huddle with the troops and they follow him too. So what I'm saying is trust him, trust your mate, support him. But why wouldn't you give me the plan? You're not gonna just follow a general into a war or to battle without knowing what the strategy is or the plan of attack. Like you're not gonna say, follow me into this war and not know what to do. You're gonna come around, y'all gonna huddle together. This is the plan. This is the map. This is where we going. We gonna go this way, we gonna do that. Y'all gonna have an executed plan before y'all go into battle. Y'all gonna walk out. Your troops are gonna say, "Well, General, what if they come from this direction?" Oh, I didn't think about that. You know what? That's a good idea. If they come from that direction, we're gonna do blase. That's where, because sometimes you can't see everything. Good leaders have a team of people around them making the greatest decisions. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they are not the smartest people in the room. They just are good at aligning the people that they need in order to get a task executed properly. So, Derek, yes, you're going to huddle with the troops. And yes, the troops were going to follow the general either way. But yes, y'all going to make the decisions together, because good leaders want people around them that can see the things that they can't see, and they put the proper people in place to get to the expected goal. Great show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Applause. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I had an amazing time, as I do always. I do not take for granted the people that stay with us the whole entire time. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I enjoy talking to each and every one of y'all. Somebody said generals don't really lead troops into combat, actually. Speak on it. Okay, he said women sold their honor back when they accepted the government's offer to take care of them and the kids. If they put the man out the house, this is the biggest reason why we are so divided. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, it is. But I see where you're going with that.
Peace and love. Yes, wonderful show. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all who's sticking there with us the whole entire time. Listen, comment. Y'all be right there calling into the show. I look forward to y'all. I look so forward. I feel like y'all are my friends and my buddies and my homies. Yeah. And I look forward to our conversations weekly. I do.
It's funny that you say that, because I went out this week and I was DJing, and people that, hey man, I really enjoy your show. I didn't even realize he's watching the show or listening to the show. And people approach me all the time, man. It's been nothing but positive things.
I mean, we do it because we love this.
I know, right?
We really do it because we love y'all and we appreciate it. We put on we do a lot of work. A lot goes into this, and we be working on it all week until we get up to the showtime, and we be really excited to come on here and really talk to y'all, because it's always a whole. Like, we always have great conversations, and it's always juicy.
I know, right?
It's always juicy. And we just appreciate y'all so much. So if you have not, we were looking at our stats, and 37% of the people who watch are not following us on YouTube.
Yeah,
So please go follow us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, please. So we just really appreciate you guys for tuning in every week. I thank you so much, and I enjoy you guys greatly.
Yeah.
It's always a whole vibe.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And thank you for all the new people that
I know.
tuned in and called in. We appreciate y'all.
Like I said, there's a lot of people that's watching.
Yes, subscribing, like.
Not saying anything, but we appreciate those people too. So
yeah,
watching in the background, and like Eric Flynn that came in today, called
Thank
in,
you.
and he showed up. I really appreciate these are people. Kim Thomas. And,
yes, thank you.
You know, just
Linda, thank you for your wisdom. Cause y'all be dropping gems.
I know, right?
Gregory for calling in. I think that was his first time. Thank you, Greg, for calling in, dropping wisdom. Oh, thank you. I receive it.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. Much love. Yeah. Here's mine. Can you see it?
I can never do it right. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that so much.
We appreciate you guys. It's always a vibe. Love y'all.
Till next week.
Till next week. Another great show.
Yes.
Another great topic. And go back and watch some of them old shows, y'all.
Old shows too. Yeah, for sure.
Peace.